Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Maryam, and this is where I give you news headlines about events happening in Nigeria. If you're watching on YouTube, kindly click the subscribe button and don't forget to share it with your friends. And if you're watching on all social media platforms, kindly follow. I'll give you a follow back and please repost this particular one. Thank you. Now let's get to the headlines and details behind some of the headlines. I'm going to touch on majorly the Punch newspaper's report this morning. From the Punch newspaper, Tinubu orders manhunt as terrorists kill over 40 in Niger. President Bola Tinubu has ordered a manhunt for the terrorists responsible for a deadly attack on communities in Niger State that left more than 40 people dead and many others abducted. In a statement on Sunday, personally signed by him, the president said he had directed the Minister of Defense, the Chief of Defense Staff, the service chiefs, the Inspector General of Police, and the Director of the Department of State Services to track down the perpetrators of the Kasuwan Daji attack and ensure they are brought to justice. So that's that about that particular headline. From there to a political story, still from the Punch newspaper, PDP leaders set conditions for reconciliation as crisis lingers. Stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) have outlined far-reaching conditions for reconciliations as consultations intensify on resolve the parties to resolve, I beg your pardon, to resolve the party's lingering internal crisis with issues surrounding party structure, the conduct of another convention, public apologies, and other fundamental reforms taking center stage in ongoing deliberations. Members of both the Tanimo Turaki SAN and Abdurrahman Mohammed led factions of the National Working Committee who spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to comment publicly on the issue. Confirmed to the Punch that the discussions to resolve the crisis were still at an early stage. Options being considered, they said, include convening a National Executive Committee meeting or holding another national convention. Well, hopefully they get that one sorted soon. And moving away from that to this one coming from a legal luminary in Nigeria. Falana slams judges freeing alleged security funds looters. Human rights lawyer Mr. Femi Falana SAN has criticized Nigerian judges for freeing individuals accused of looting billions of naira meant for arms procurement, saying such judicial decisions are undermining the fight against terrorism and banditry in the country. Falano said the courts were not helping matters by relying on what he described as dubious technicalities to discharge prominent figures indicted for stealing security funds, even as soldiers on the front lines remain poorly equipped. Away from that story, to another one, still with the Punch newspaper, and this one is from Political Scene. Obi not negotiating for Atiku's running mate slot, says obedient coordinator. The national coordinator of the Obedient Movement Worldwide, Dr. Yunusa Tanko, has ruled out any possibility of former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi accepting a vice presidential slot ahead of the 2027 general election. Tanko, an ally of Obi, made the clarification in an exclusive interview with The Punch, responding to speculation that the former Labour Party presidential candidate might consider becoming the running mate of ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Well, that is a conversation that is still ongoing concerning where Obi will stand come 2027. Now let's move on to this one. It concerns NNPCL. The headline reads NNPC subsidiaries debt balloons 70% to 30 trillion naira. Despite its transition into a commercial entity, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is grappling with mounting financial pressure as unviable and underperforming subsidiaries deepen intercompany indebtedness, pushing outstanding obligations owed to the company to 30.30 trillion naira. Latest findings from NMPC's 2024 audited financial statements show that debts owed by subsidiaries, joint ventures, and other related entities rose by 70.4% or 12.52 trillion naira from 17.78 trillion naira in 2023 to 30.30 trillion naira as of December 31, 2024. The sharp increase has raised fresh concerns about the company's liquidity management and long term financial sustainability. And from the Punch newspaper, let's move on to the Platform Times. And this story says WAEC controversy rocks Ekiti as parties trade blame over deputy governor. The All Progressives Congress APC, the People's Democratic Party PDP, and the African Democratic Congress ADC in Ekiti State have locked horns over the academic qualification of the Deputy Governor, Mrs. Monishade Afuye, following the publication of candidates' credentials by the Independent National Electoral Commission ahead of the 2026 governorship election. Document released by INEC showed that Mrs. Afuye submitted a West African Examinations Council certificate indicating that she sat for the examination in June 1978 at Amoye Grammar School, Ikere Ekiti. The result recorded credits in literature, in English and economics, and passes in history and mathematics. The disclosure has triggered sharp criticism from opposition parties, with the PDP and ADC questioning both her sustainability for office and, in some cases, the authenticity of the certificate. Well, it's a long drag in Ekiti State, but let's see how that will pan out. But that's all I have for you on major news in Nigeria. Don't forget to join me tomorrow. Kindly click the subscribe button and please share it with your loved ones as well. Thank you and have a great week ahead.